What if the man who had every reason to hate chose love instead? This is the story of Nelson Mandela, a man who spent 27 years in prison, only to walk free and forgive the people who put him there. A freedom fighter, a peacemaker, a symbol of what it truly means to lead with courage, dignity, and heart. Let's dive into the journey of one of the greatest leaders the world has ever known. Early life and injustice. Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela was born in 1918 in a small South African village. Even as a young boy, he was aware of the injustice around him. Black South Africans lived under the cruel system of apartheid, a racist law that kept people segregated, unequal, and powerless. Mandela believed this wasn't just wrong, it was unbearable. So he studied law, joined the African National Congress, and began fighting for freedom. Not with violence, but with a dream of equality. Arrested in 1962, Mandela was arrested for standing up against the system. He was sentenced to life in prison, spent 18 years of that sentence on Robben Island, locked away, forced to do hard labor, and rarely allowed to see his family. But here's what's remarkable. Instead of letting bitterness consume him, Mandela used the time to grow. Read, he wrote. He planned for a better South Africa. Most people would have given up. He didn't. The release in 1990, after 27 years behind bars, Nelson Mandela walked free. He didn't walk out with revenge in his heart. He walked out with a message. As I walked out the door toward the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I'd still be in prison. President Mandela and forgiveness. Just 4 years after his release, Mandela became the first black president of South Africa. But he didn't seek punishment for the oppressors, didn't seek war or revenge. He chose peace. He created the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, a way for victims and perpetrators to speak openly, to heal, and to forgive. Forgiveness to Mandela was not weakness, it was power, legacy, and impact. Nelson Mandela passed away in 2013, but his legacy lives on. He showed the world that leadership isn't about power, it's about purpose. That courage isn't just standing up to enemies. Sometimes, it's sitting down to talk with them. He became a global symbol for peace, justice, and unity. A man who transformed not just a country, but hearts all over the world. Quotes and inspiration. It always seems impossible until it's done. Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. I am not a saint, unless you think of a saint as a sinner who keeps on trying. These aren't just quotes, they are life lessons. Mandela didn't just fight for freedom, he lived freedom through humility, compassion, and resilience. Nelson Mandela's story, East teaches history, it is a guide for how we can lead, forgive, and rise. So next time life tests your patience or your spirit, remember this. He lost 27 years and still chose peace. What will you choose? If this inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories that move hearts and minds.